Alrighty, well, welcome everyone. Let's give it 1 second to make sure that it is streaming. I am also live on Telegram. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to day one of my 5 days for 5 tools to create more time, more money, to have a totally different perspective on money. So we're going to have fun, and I allotted 30 minutes, which is not hard for me to fill at all. What will be hard is for me to keep it within 30 minutes. So so we're good. We're ready to go. Let me make sure we're up, we're running, we're good. Alrighty, so welcome to day one. This is only streaming in the Tools to Master Your Own Energy page, Consciousness with Lynnae. And it will obviously be here on the wall. So you can watch it at any time. And it'll be 12 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There we go. Okay. And what I have is an ask of you. If you do watch it or you tap in, would you please, please, please leave a comment? Just like watch, check, replay, or even better, would to be like a takeaway. Um, so that, there's a lot of people that watch stuff, right? We all do, but we don't always comment. But when people choose to comment, it creates more for everybody. So I would love that. That would be great. And then I would know who I was talking to and so forth. All right, so let's just kind of kick back for 30 minutes here. Take a deep breath. And everything that you think this class is going to be or not going to be, or a projection or expectation of what you're going to get from this or not going to get it. I'm just going to ask you to just like barriers down. Just let that go. Let it go. Our projections and expectations, especially when it comes to money and everything, really jam us up. Okay? Um, they just do. Because there could be something even greater transformation that could happen for you today, awareness, but you had a point of view of what you think you should be getting from the call. So just barriers down with that. And what would it be like to be grounded with your awareness with money? Okay. A lot of you are probably have watched stuff or you haven't watched stuff. Hello, Brooke. Glad to have you. Please let me know. Some of you may be familiar with it, but we're going to go on a journey in the next 5 days of like, what is your relationship with money? And I teach almost all of my classes with very few notes. I follow the energy of what I perceive and what I see and who pops on and who comments. And of course, I have a little bit of stuff in front of me so I don't go forever. But yeah, so what is your relationship with money? And I don't know, has anybody ever asked you that before? And if you have a lot of drama, trauma, stories, stuff with money, you are probably functioning from old relationships. And it's weird because we have a lot of different relationships with everything. I use my hands a lot, so I apologize if they're flying around. So today's call is going to be really a class, like I think I wrote it, class full of questions and tools created to give you a totally different perspective on creating your life and business and money. Okay, so what would it be like to just be that like open energy of like, wow, I wonder what's possible here. I am curious and lots of questions. So when you leave the call, spend that next time until you have the next call of like being aware. Okay, I have 4 pillars that I teach my clients, and they're the 4 A's to success, recovery. It's the same thing. I'll use this finger, is awareness. And that's what we're doing right now. We're like, I wasn't even aware that I had that thought. Okay. I wrote tool number 1. There's a picture of it already posted, and we're going to go over that. So, first is your awareness of like, oh my gosh. And then 2 is allowance. So as you become aware of things today, while I'm talking about it, be aware of whether you're judging yourself of the awareness, or you can be a space of like, wow, I'm just going to be an allowance of what I'm aware of. And we most likely will want to go into judgment because that's how we function. But just be aware. And then the power of questions, asking questions a certain particular way that they don't have a conclusion on them. All they have is this like weird, new, uncomfortable space of like, I don't have an answer. But what am I willing to explore? And then the fourth one is action. What choices am I going to choose based on what I'm aware of and what actions? Okay. So the first tool that I posted a picture of right below, in case you haven't seen it, it looks like that, and all my notes. We're just going to go through it. Okay. So tool number one, are you willing to receive money? And so ask that question, am I willing to receive money? I'm pretty much sure all of you are going to say yes, like I did. And again, we're not coming from a place of wrong or right or good or bad. We're coming from awareness, like a whole new space of awareness. So I'm aware that most of you will say, are you willing to receive money? Right? Okay, cool. That's kind of a mindset thing. Yes, to be aware that I am willing to receive money. I'm also here. Everything I teach is also from my personal experience. I wouldn't teach something that I hadn't already gone through. And this in accumulations of tons of programs and classes, a lot from Access Consciousness and many classes. But is that if your money is not where you would like it to be, big chance is you're not willing to receive. Okay, take that in. Money is not about money. Money is about what we are willing and not willing to receive. Now, I have been studying money from this way for 5 years. There isn't a money story that I pretty much haven't created. Yep. Yep. And I'm at a whole different point of view and ease in having money than I've ever had before. So, but I always thought I could receive money, but I had literally cut off all forms of receiving. Receiving, then receiving the money. So, are you willing to receive money? Okay. And cool. If your answer is yes, cool. But if you really get clear for just a moment, go, wow, am I really willing to receive? And everywhere that you're willing to be, willing to be, willing to be aware of something other than what you think you should be saying or you should be, we have a new door open to go, I wonder what else is possible. So just try this on. I wonder if I I wonder if I am. That's kind of a weird question. I wonder where I'm not willing to receive money. I wonder. Okay. So then let me know if people are popping on. Love to say hello. When you don't receive, you stop gifting. You stop the joy of contribution. You also stop the ease of your business. And again, I'm reading tool one. So let me break it down so we can feel, perceive, know, and receive the energy of what this is saying. The work I do is the energy beyond the words. Because we say a lot, blah, blah, blah. But what are we actually saying? And what is it actually creating? And then what are we being with what it is that we're saying? So when you don't receive, you stop the joy of gifting. You stop the joy of contribution, and you also stop the ease of your business. Okay. Let's see. Where can I go? There's so many places. I'm going to refer to, I've been self-employed, 100% commission based my entire life. So I know what this world is like. I know 20 years plus in network marketing. And I am talking to a lot of women in network marketing. So why I'm saying that is, boy, I wish I would have known this of where I was stopping the flow of my business many years ago. So if you're new to this and you're like, Oh, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. Great. Just keep soaking up the information. Okay. So when you don't receive, you stop the joy of gifting. You stop the joy of contribution. And you also stop the ease of your business. Okay. We all know that everything is energy. And what are you doing with that? So let me give you an example. This is how we cut off receiving. I'm a woman, I'm in recovery. I've been in recovery for 33 years, drugs, alcohol, eating disorder, anorexia, bulimia, Debtors Anonymous. I have done the gamut. So I have quite a history of cutting off receiving. And one of the places I started to learn, and this is where you can start to have your homework, is like if someone gives you a compliment and they say, "Oh, I love your shirt." What do you do with that? What do you do with that? Do you go, "Oh, no, it's an old shirt. I don't like it. It's like, I don't like the color pink on me." I did it this morning on my membership group. But because we're always working these tools, right? These are tools. I call them energetic tools. And if you're going to use them, you have to practice them. So we have a little membership group. But when someone gives you a compliment, what do you do with it? Do you receive it fully, in and out? Or do you go, "Nope, nope"? Majority of us go, "No." Okay. Well, guess what? That no, when someone gave you a compliment, is cutting off your ability to receive business and money. And who would have thunk it? Like, I've studied energy for trained in it, but I started to get another point of view of understanding with more of access tools is that, wow, every time I judge myself, I've cut off receiving. Well, that is years of judgment. So we'll come back to that later. But just be aware if someone gives you a compliment, your hair, your shoes, your hair, your business, all that, what do you do with it? What do you be with it? Do you be the energy of like, "Yeah, I'm going to receive that"? I learned a long time ago in my recovery journey that I work mostly with very intuitive, empathic women, okay? Very sensitive, but you don't have the tools on how to do that. But 30 years ago, I had this brilliant therapist at that time who said, because I couldn't take in everything that was coming to me, I didn't know what was happening, but as an intuitive, whatever. So she taught me to take my third chakra and instead of, now what does this have to do with money? A lot. And instead of being 100% open, which is where I was running around in the world with, sucking up everything, she said, turn down your camera aperture. She didn't use the word chakra because 30 years we weren't like totally talking about that. But she said, just open up your camera aperture of receiving 5%, 10%, 30%. And then I learned over the years to receive everything fully without a point of view. Now, we're not going to talk about point of view today. You get more of that in the class that I will be sharing and teaching later. But what would it be like to receive everything? Okay, so everything that's bringing up for all of you, just let it down, destroy and uncreate it. So when you don't receive, you stop the joy of gifting, because when someone gifts you a compliment, they're gifting you a compliment. And then you go, "No, no, thank you." You've shut it off. You can't receive the energy of contribution. You reverse it back to them, and then you cut it off for you. Okay? So that's kind of what that sentence means. So where are you doing that? If you're doing that in your life, it's showing up in your business. I am a life and business coach facilitator. What is going on in your life is showing up in your business. Okay, next thing on this tool number 1. So, what if you could receive cash and currency flows like a car or a new computer from anywhere and everywhere? So, what if you could receive cash and currency flows like a car or a new computer from anywhere and everywhere? What if? Some of you may just say right off, "Well, I can. I can. I can." And some of you can, but the majority cannot. And if you're willing to be really honest and look at this, not from a place of judgment, but like, hmm, uh, could you receive cash and currency flows like a car or a computer or anything from anywhere and everywhere? So again, I've only got 30 minutes here. Depending on your age, for 40 and over, many of us grew up, I'm 59, well, grew up with a point of view, our points of view create our reality, that we had to work hard, we had to work masculine, we had to, in order to have something, we had to deserve it, we had to work for it, and a whole bunch of other lies. Younger generation, welcome younger generation, because you now have a point of view and capacity to receive things with a lot more ease. So there are two different generations of things that I'm speaking to. So for the more wisdom energy, it's like, what would it be like if you could just receive and have without working hard for it? So destroy and create all your points of view of working hard for it. And then celebrate you if you also don't have that point of view that all of life is coming to me with ease. Okay? So here's where it shows up for me. What are your points of view of receiving? Like, can you? What do you think about yourself? What do you owe something? Do you keep the bucket list? Do you the check off list? Oh my God, we do it in every form and shape with money. Okay, you pay for that, I pay for this. You pay for like that whole thing. Here's how it showed up for me probably 3 years ago, and it shows up all the time, but it was like with a client. I do body work. I'm also a body work healer, and she bought a package. We finished the 5 sessions. And as she's getting ready to leave, she hands me $500 in cash. And she goes, your sessions were 500, but you were double work because I got so much more than I ever expected. She says, I want you to have this. And I stopped. I was frozen because I knew at that moment, if I did not receive it fully 100%, receive it, I was going to cut off another layer of receiving money and receiving my business. And I've had many situations like that one, but that one really pops because I was so aware that I wanted to turn it back. It was so uncomfortable. Now, some of you may not have this. If you don't, then yay. Listen, because you'll be able to share this tool with other people. But I just knew at that moment, receive it, receive it, receive it. She was gifting me. And I did. And again, when you change something, when you change the energy, the awareness of something, you change everything. That's why consciousness and energy works so darn fast, because it's pivotal energetic shifts. It's like, and that changed everything. So where in your life, even right now in your business or in your money, where someone wants to gift you something, it's even help. Like everywhere that you turn away help, because you can do it on your own, that is cutting off your ability to receive. And that's tool number one. Are you willing to receive money? Question mark. Okay, so that's a tool. So what are your points of view of just receiving? Okay. I'm looking at the time. Are you willing to receive, okay, here's 3 questions. Are you willing to receive immensely wealthy clients? Are you willing to receive customers who are poorly dressed? I will talk about this one in a minute. Are you willing to receive tons of money or no money at all? Okay, so just let those come on in. My little energy is super high. Let me bring it down. Of course, I cannot pour everything that I want to in 5 days and 30 minutes. I will be inviting you to a 6-week course. After this, we will take a deep dive into all of this. The class is only going to be $247 for 6 weeks, and you can pay in 3 payments. Because I know you're wondering, how do I get more of this? And that's how you get more of it. So, are you willing to receive immensely wealthy clients? In sales, this is a statistic that we will usually, especially when it comes to recruiting, Now, this is a statistic, but you can also be aware of it without judgment. We will often recruit a little bit less than us. And I don't mean that as in a judgment, but there's this thing that we do that we aren't willing to receive better than us, more than us, more knowing than us, more wealthy than us. So everywhere that you didn't even know that, but now you're aware, like, well, I'm not willing to do that. Wow, it's interesting. I've cut myself off from receiving, but there's a lot of point of views and beliefs and limitations under why you have decided that. Okay, oh, what all that noise is. Um, so are you willing to receive immensely wealthy clients? And I know that you're all saying yes. And if it was truly a 100% yes, you would have a ton of them. Okay, so what else is possible here? Um, and are you willing to receive customers who are poorly dressed? I tried, what is that clicking noise? Um, I when I read this one, I was like, okay, this is weird. Let me look at the energy of it and let me flip it back. Okay, so you can see where I'm at with this. Um, Catherine, hi Catherine. She says, please, without working hard for it. Huge belief system, huge limitation. The work I do is to clear it, clear the energy that's holding that belief system in space, in place, and get out of the autopilot of it. And then who am I going to be, which is the work that we need to be somebody who can have and create a business with ease. Okay, and that's the work that we get to do. So, are you willing to receive customers who are poorly dressed? And let me flip it. Are you willing to receive customers who are dressed better than you or show up better than you? Okay, this is huge. And I've experienced this every day of my life. I came out into the world as a little peanut girl. Yes, more ease, Tricia says, glad to have you. I came into the world as this little girl. Like I came out with a purse and earrings and a little hairdo and a little dress. I came out dressed. Of course, my mom taught me some of that, but my sister and I are very different. But I have not been received well in people's world because they judge the way I look. And I learned this in years in network marketing. We were taught to dress and look a certain way, but I already knew that. And people would say to me, why did you get so dressed up? As if it was something wrong. And there was a long time in my period of sales where I had a belief system that I needed to not show up as me. Like, let me just put something else on. And it wasn't about, they were not able to receive me. And so it's the poorly dressed, the high dressed, and it's not a judgment, but it's the energy of what we're not willing. Now, did that light stuff up in their world because they were judging me that they didn't look like that or they needed to be like, this is all our limitations and points of view that keep us from receiving money. Because it's everything. So that's just my story. And people will say it constantly. You're always dressed up. How do you do it? When do you get up? And it's like, no, it's just total ease for me. As if it's ease for somebody who can put their hair in a ponytail and a sweatshirt and look so damn freaking cute. You know what I mean? So this is a real space of, are we willing to receive that? Okay. Trisha says, I had a friend that would say to me, why are you always dolled up? Yes, as if there's something wrong with that. So this is just, where is your money flows? Where are they blocked? These are places where they're blocked. How cool is that? Okay. So we could keep going on with that one, but we'll stop. But thank you for that. Are you willing to receive tons of money or no money at all? Okay. You have to be everywhere that you've said you'd never be willing, or you would never do that. Every time you've ever said I will never do that, guess what? You're probably going to do that. Probably as a parent, I will never be that parent. I will never do that. Well, I'll be damned, you probably already did it. It's just, again, it's the energy attracts the energy and then you become it. So, are you willing to receive tons of money or no money at all? Because you have to also be willing to receive no money at all. Now, again, I can't go in this in the next 5 minutes, but this also jams us up when it comes to tool number one. Are you willing to receive money? Are you willing to receive no money? Okay, what this looks like for me is I do a lot of free stuff. Okay, um, because I like it. I like it. It brings me joy. Now, I put a post on there before, money follows joy. Joy does not follow money. Now, if I got stuck on other people's points of view that I do too much free stuff or I'm underpriced or whatever, I would be not receiving what's true for me. So, to answer this, are you willing to receive tons of money or am I willing to receive no money at all? I am totally willing to receive no money at all. Totally. I am going to ask and invite you to something else. I am going to be willing to do that, but I'm also willing to ask you that with no investment in your answer. This is huge when it comes to sales. Huge. Can you invite somebody to purchase something, buy something, be part of something, and not be energetically attached and invested in the outcome? Most of you can't. You can't until you learn how not to be that. And when it comes to great, great, great conscious leadership, you have to truly master this. Okay? So, are you willing to receive tons of money or no money at all? Okay? Um, yeah. So, as we get ready to wrap this up, right on schedule, what are your takeaways? Are you willing to receive money? And where are you today willing to receive a compliment without having to justify it or flip it back on them? Is someone willing, are you to give you something or to have something? It can be as simple as, oh, I went and got a soda I went to buy a soda and the guy behind the counter gave it to me for free. You would have thought that he'd given me $1 million. So I've still got to work on that. I was like, for real? Are you sure? It's like, it was so silly. And because I still have a problem receiving, I received it. In the past, I would have said, no, 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 I have to get it. You'll get in trouble. So it's just, all of it. Some people may have been just like, yeah, frick, yeah, I'm going to take that. So I'm still working on my layers of receiving. But because I can receive different, I receive more money now. I just receive differently. But it can be as simple as a compliment to somebody gifting you something that little. Let's see, looking at your clients, those questions. What are your points of view with people like that? And most of all, what energy are you being with people? Are you jumping into their worlds, being the energy in them so it cuts you off from every other place? And then I'll wrap up with this. It's not a question, it's kind of just a statement here. Whatever energy, let me see how I wrote this down. Whatever energy you're not willing to receive, whatever energy you're not willing to receive, is the energy that will create the limitation of you and your business and your financial reality. Bam. Let me read it one more time. Whatever energy you're not willing to receive is the energy that will create the limitation of you and your business and your financial reality. And what that means, my biggest journey has been this thing called judgment. Judgment of me, judgment of me, judgment of me. I have been successful in every area of my life for the most part. Let me say, I have been successful. Again, the word successful, what the hell does that mean? That point of view. So let me clear that really quick. That's a word that we have to clear. But let me go back to judgment. Judgment is our number one addiction. It's an energetic addiction that keeps us from having and being and receiving what's possible. So underneath that, whatever energy you're not willing to receive the energy of is the limitation. It's the limitation of you and your money and your business. And I was for so many years not willing to be judged. Like it was terrifying. And I'm still popping out of that. Um, so everywhere that you're not willing to be judged, if you were willing to be judged, you would make $5,000 more a year. For everywhere that you're not willing to be judged, you will lose $5,000 a year. When I really started to play with that, it was like, wow. And what that means is everywhere that you're hiding, everywhere that you're not willing to show up as you who you truly be, you can't just do that and do that. It's a process of undoing the patterning, undoing the belief systems, autopilots, all the work that I do that I love to help you with, so that you can start to receive all of it, all the judgment, all the good, all the bad, all the yummy, up the beautiful, up the that. You receive it all, and none of it pings you. None of it sticks like the sticky, crunchy glue that it used to be. Alrighty. So thank you for joining. Please let me know if you watch it all the way to the end, comments and so forth, and then that'll bring it up in the algorithm in our group that more people will watch it. So, are you willing to receive money? And just be in that space and that question today. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Thanks for joining live, ladies.